morning. I've got somewhere to show you today. It's in our natural gully behind me here, and inside are lots of orchids and other beautiful native plants, and there should be some native orchids in flower at the moment, so let's go and see. Down we go. It's a little bit steep and treacherous at the beginning. We need to sort that out. On the very first tree that we come across, there's already so much life, apart from insects such as the spiders. Look at the ferns and their aerial roots and all the mosses. And just down here a little bit, there's my little friend. We have something very interesting on this tree. This is a horizontal branch of the tree, and on it a seed. I think this is a miro tree seed has germinated, and it's starting to grow in the leaf litter on this branch. This grassy substance is actually a native orchid. It's Earina mucronata, and I'm sure I saw buds on it. Ah. Here are some buds, still not quite out, but once this flowers it is so fragrant, it's absolutely beautiful, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Let's go down a bit further. These mosses are just about to flower as well. Look at this, a privet. Anywhere there's some sunshine, a bird dropping will have landed with a privet seed. And the best way is to pull out the entire root system, but I've managed to snap it, so we'll have to get that next time. Inside of this tree trunk is lichen splinosum, which is another fabulous native fern type thing. There's its spores, and it likes the damp conditions. And there's some more up there. Everywhere we walk at the moment we'll be seeing some fallen branches, which is just inevitable, but all of the plants on here are pretty doomed. Those might survive, they're off the ground, and I think that is from that break there in that tree, which looks to be dying actually, or dead. That's just the cycle of life. This is part of the tree that is now dead, and you can see more privet seedlings have germinated. Look at the root system on that tiny little plant. So yes, we don't want that. I always try to pull the privet out. So further down we go. Canopy's quite thick above here now. It gets a bit steep. Here is a really sunny area, and there's some toots and weed growing there, so we'll have to deal with that. But there's also some clumps of native grasses too. It's very reassuring. It's absolutely jam-packed full of life down here. Let's go. I just love these tree ferns. They're quite fast growing and very pretty. We'll go down further and see what we can see down the bottom. I'm at the bottom now, and I found some water, so I will just show you what else is down here. Lots and lots of leaf matter, and here's some water. This dries up in the summer, but as we've had so much rain recently, it is quite wet in this valley. Native grass there. Lots of little seedlings just growing so nicely. Lots and lots. And if you go over here, and around these two tall pongi trees, you see a fire bath. And there's the tap for the hose pipe that goes straight up. And this is a cast iron bath on some, I think, cinder blocks and bits of concrete, and underneath you would light a fire. And under the debris here should be a nice piece of plywood. There's broken glass here that we've been clearing up. But there's a piece of plywood so you don't sit on the bottom of the fire and cook. It just warms the water nicely. And here's a fallen pongi tree, unfortunately. That's still alive at the top there. But it's really good because you can see exactly what's growing on it, or was. And this is again Erinia mucronata, which has such a very strong heady fragrance when it flowers. So we'll check up on that later. So as long as they're kept off the floor, all of these plants should survive. And if we look down here, the bush continues a lot further down there, and eventually it comes out onto the farmland. But yes, this is very much a little secret hidey hole. A really magical spot to come and have a bath. And we've also got some hammocks, which, well, there used to be hammocks across these two trees, but I think one of them's fallen. So we've got some lightweight hammocks that we will string up and remove, and rather than leaving these things lying around. So there we go. And we go across the stepping stones. And hope I don't fall. A little bit of water there. And this looks very much like a nickel palm just starting to grow here. So that's marvellous. Very diverse plant materials. Another lovely native broadleaf here. Some Miro. So this tree we can see from the top of the valley up at the house. And it's really nice to see how huge it is down here. And this tree is a favourite with the tuis. It's like a hicotea, and they squabble and fight over territory in this tree. It's very tall and they have a wonderful vantage point. So thanks for joining me, and we'll come back when the orchids are in full bloom. Goodbye.